Hey guys, today we're making one pot chicken gnocchi in our cast iron skillet, and I am obsessed with this pan, and this recipe is going to turn out amazing. So let me show you how it's made. Just for some size comparison, this is the 4-quart Dutch oven, and then this is the cast iron skillet. I've heated up the cast iron skillet, and I'm just going to add in some of the sliced bacon and get it nice and brown and crispy. While that is browning, I'm just going to go ahead and season up my chicken. Italian seasoning. This is the best Italian seasoning ever, by the way. So good and flavorful. Once you have this bacon done, we're going to pull this out, and you want to leave in the grease because this is going to help to season our chicken and just give it that great bacony, salty flavor. While that's down, I'm going to go ahead and season the other side of the chicken. While that's going, I'm actually going to do my pressed garlic into a bowl because that process is going to happen kind of quickly. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that done here. And as you can see, you can use the garlic clove with the skin on in these, which is really nice. One tip that I have for you guys is to not touch this. A lot of people have the habit of flipping their chicken a bunch, of moving it around. You need to just let it go and just trust the process. And we're gonna wait until it's about 2/3 of the way cooked through to flip it. All right, so I can pretty much tell that this is ready to flip by the coloring of the fond down here in the bottom. The cooked chicken is wrapping around the sides here. And so I bet you when I flip this, I'm gonna have a great golden brown color. There we go. So we're just going to let this cook all the way through, and I'll use my thermometer to make sure that this is cooked to 160. All right, so we're going to reduce the heat just a little bit. So you see all this beautiful color at the bottom of the pan. We're going to deglaze the pan and pick that up into our food. So first I'm going to add in a little bit of garlic. And then we're going to add in our milk. I'm going to just use a silicone whisk to kind of pick up all of the goodies at the bottom of this. Okay, so we've got that kind of all mixed together. I'm going to add in my gnocchi and my bacon, and then we're going to grate some cheese into here. I'm not going to tell you how much cheese you use in here. You just measure this with your heart, okay? This is my absolute favorite spoon, the corner spoon. And we're just going to kind of mix this all together. So we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to reduce to a simmer, and we're just going to let it thicken and get delicious and let the gnocchi cook through. So this is what a boil looks like. This is different than a simmer, right? So you want it to be actively bubbling even though you're stirring. So that's really important because a lot of people don't bring it far enough. I think they get nervous that the cream will burn, which as long as you're watching it, you should be all right. But you really want it to have a nice bubble going on so that your sauce will thicken. Otherwise, it won't thicken up very nicely. You'll have kind of a watery situation going on. So now that this is nice and bubbly, I'm going to reduce it down. I'm going to reduce it down just a little bit, maybe to like 3. And I'm just going to keep an eye on it and just let it get nice and thick. So I've got about a half a cup of frozen peas here, and we're just going to add this in. This just adds such a nice, bright, fresh flavor to this. All right, so now we're going to add in the chicken. It's really important never to cut your meat right after it comes off of a pan because you're going to lose all of the delicious juices that come with it. So, and we're just going to let this continue to thicken. By the way, if you don't have these tongs, I absolutely adore these. They work really well. You pinch and you see how that drops down and then they open. And then to close them, you just tip them back and they're shut. So really, really handy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put the lid on here and turn off the heat and let this hang out until we're ready for dinner. I think it is delicious. Definitely a dinner one.